Why are you excited?
Because it's going to be an ass-busting day.
And we're off to Brechfa Forest. We're doing the Raven Trail.
Brechfa.
Beck in Brechfa. Beck in Brechfa. It's a long journey, this is. So we've got 2.5 hours to Brechfa Forest. But any single women out there, gym's available. Hi guys, and welcome to Brechfa Forest in the middle of Wales. And this, what we're doing today, is a pretty special trail. It's called the Raven Trail. And this trail is no exception to the rule. You're going to start pedalling uphill. But there's a slight difference with this trail. So the trail builders have cleverly undulated the trail so it's up and down and up and down. And that's the way it winds itself top of the valley. The trail itself is a black graded trail. The distance, 18.5 kilometres. And they advertise it for the above average mountain biker. Now, I'm not sure I completely agree with that statement, although there are a few bits that could catch you out if you're going at speed. You don't have to take any of these trails at speed, and there are roll rounds for absolutely everything. And what I absolutely loved about what the trail builders have done here, when you start, there's nothing really that's going to catch you out, and it progressively gets harder the further on that you go. But by the time you get to those hard sections, you've been riding bits that have progressed you to get to that point where you can actually clear some of this stuff. So now that the warm-up's done, it looks like we're going to head up a really nasty climb. It's about a third of the way in, and I have to say it's probably the only difficult climb in here. But as soon as you get to the top, it starts undulating again, and you're going up and down and winding yourself around the valley again. Spectacular.
It's going to reward us. It will. It's all rewarding. It's going to reward us with pizza.
All I think about when I'm going on these rides is food. Is anybody else like that? Comment below. There are more sections than I can actually mention, and memorable sections that are really good at Brechfa Forest, the Raven Trail. And there are so many different types of sections, from fast single track to techie downhill to rolling jumps to drops. It's endless.
Nice.
Now granted, I am on a full suspension today, so it's a little bit more comfortable, but there's nothing at Brechfa Forest that you couldn't do on a hardtail with speed. The trails are that good, and there are lots of different lines that you can take. I said earlier, things progressively get harder, and they start about halfway round. So we got some sizable drops, and we got some sizable rollable jumps.
It's a really rooty bit here. Slow down, slow down.
Yeah, he doesn't want to admit it, but I completely saved his life there. By slowing him down, he didn't plough into a load of roots that were hidden.
Go right. Go right. Nice. No, okay. That was good. Kind of want to do that again. Good control around that corner, Beck. Yeah.
Now I don't mind these little fire road grinds. It's quite pleasant actually, after all the downhill and the thrill of almost dying. Apart from a couple of these switchbacks, they're not built very well. With bikes these days, how long they are, it's pretty hard to get your bike around some of these switchback corners. Now this is not even a negative, but I can't help feel the Raven Trail would be a completely different trail in the wet. Maybe not as good, and maybe pretty sketchy, because there are a lot of routes here.
Go on, one speed.
Now this is where I'm completely at home. Fast, single track, no tech, few berms, few rollable jumps, but just speed. I ended up walking back up this trail later, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But as you're coming down, you don't notice how gnarly the ground actually is, with the rocks that are jutting out and sticking out. You're going down these trails so fast. The one thing that was a little bit difficult today was the light through the trees. The shadows were causing a little bit of trouble in the way of visibility. And sometimes you found yourself brake checking. The trail builders have done such a good job keeping your bike moving and keeping the momentum going. They've used every kind of bit of gradient to your advantage. The one disadvantage I would say, the trail signs are not very clearly marked, or they're not a good enough size for you to see when you're going at speed. Exhibit A, we were going that fast, we actually missed our turning. But I'm kind of glad, because the blue trail we ended up on ended up being one of the better trails of the day. And I do suppose, if you are pushing it a bit down here, you are going incredibly fast. There is an opportunity to have some nasty accidents, I would have thought.
That's good. Walking up the trail. That me and Jim have just come down. I've got no idea where Beck and Lisa are. Oh, fucking hope they're okay. One of them's come off. Getting a bit worried now. Can't seem to find them anywhere. So this is a fucking nightmare and I'm a little bit pissed off. So me and Jim have come down first and I've walked all the way back up looking for the girls thinking one of them's hurt. Turns out we've gone the wrong way. So the girls have carried on the Raven Trail. I went up to look for them, left my bike here with Jim. Now I've come back down to the bottom, he's fucking gone. So I don't know which way he's gone, whether he's gone back up the hill or he's gone down the hill. What do I do?
I'll tell you exactly what I should have done. Is make sure I had my bloody phone with me. Even though we were in a group, I thought I'm not going to take my phone, we're all going to be riding together. Big mistake, you can get separated, so always make sure you've got some form of communication. Also, don't go wandering around the trails on foot. I decided to stay still and I sat there for about 20 minutes before Jim actually found me, and it turns out the girls had come back down and they took my bike up to the top of the hill. So they kind of knew what I was going to be doing. They knew I'd have enough common sense to actually stay where I was. But the section we're doing at the moment, it's Brechfa Forest equivalent of a skills section. Plenty of drops, plenty of jumps, and the jumps are made to perfection. And it's a bit that you can actually section over and over again.
Anyone that's been doing mountain biking for a while, you still haven't been to Wales, you do not know what you're missing.
Yeah, I agree. The last third of this trail is breathtakingly beautiful. So the very last section of the trail, Jim's camera dies. I want to get rid of my GoPro, so Jim decides to film me down there, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for a crash. This section was very fast, very narrow, very loose. The edges were lethal. Luckily, I had knee pads on, which is a good job, because it hurts even with those on. So my recommendation, you ride in Wales, make sure you wear your pads always. Thanks for watching this week's video, guys. I am in America for the next couple of weeks, taking a load of footage for you. So if there is not a video released next week, I do apologise. Until then, we'll see you again.